And for Tuesday's market review, here is Temple, Ashadu Temple. Yesterday was quite bullish thanks to Nestle, MTN, and Dangote Cement.
Dangote Cement, absolutely. Those are the major large cap stocks that drove up the performance of the markets yesterday. We were up again to 8-week high, 3.12% yesterday. It's something worth celebrating, actually. And that's what we got yesterday, 3.12%, coming in at 23,809.31. Now, this looks like something that is coasting back upwards to the 24,000 psychological threshold, and we do hope that that happens today. So, equity capitalization was up some 12.4, settled at 12.408 trillion naira. We got an addition of 374.9 billion naira to this equity capitalization yesterday, thanks to the performance that we saw across the bellwether stocks, which was the key area that a lot of investors continue to, bet on. Volume of transaction was 345.17 million, and of course that represents some 38% gains compared to what we did in the previous session. Now, of this 345.17 million units of shares, GT Bank, if we dissect these, contributed some 45 million units to the entire thing, and that represents a value of 1.14 billion naira. If you put that together with what we have there here, compared to what we did in the previous trading session, that represents some 77% increase in the level of transaction activity level yesterday in the markets only, and of course, 4,689 deals. And I should add that all of these trading activities have been going on remotely. Now, that tells us that we are really, really experiencing the new normal in the markets, in the equity space specifically. Banking segment of the market was up yesterday, got some 2.42% appreciation, thanks to Unity Bank that rose by 6%. Access Bank moderated its year-to-date losses from 39% year-to-date, coming in higher yesterday at some 6-point-something% yesterday. We also had Fidelity Bank and, of course, ETI, all of them contributing more to what we had here yesterday in this space. Consumer goods segment of the market, Nestle did some 5.92% yesterday. Honeywell also contributed to what we saw here that gave us a rise of 242 basis points. Honeywell did some 2.02% gains yesterday. Industrial goods segment of the market, thank you, Dangote Cement was up 10% yesterday. Now, that tells you that the price of this particular company is now around 140 something. I think at 147 naira yesterday, moving up from 130 naira. So at the point in time, it looks like it was even on bid in the market, and we do think that this bid is going to continue, today, because again, the qualification date for the dividend payout, which is 16 naira, the qualification date is 25th of May. So we'll see a lot of investors now coming on board, trying to pick up what is available ahead of that particular date when on 28th of May, this the payments register will be closed. Of course, insurance space got 32 basis points decline. No thanks to linkage insurance, which was down by more than 9%. Now, oil and gas dips was also positive, some 73 basis points. We have Philip Anegbe, research analyst with Cardinal Stone Security, on the phone. Thanks for joining us this morning on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, do you think this bullish sentiments that we saw in the markets yesterday, moving us back up some 8-week high, do you think that bullish sentiment will be sustainable today?
Yeah, I think there's a chance that we will see some gains in the market. Like you rightly noted, a few persons positioning for possible dividend payouts or before the dividend closure date. And we've had some 3-4 key drivers pushing markets in our view. Among them are the recent support we are seeing from crude oil prices, helping to sustain the rally. It's been doing well for a couple of days now, thanks to the OPEC plus production, as well as improving demand that was occasioned by suspension of the lockdown across some countries. You also have earnings that have been broadly mixed. For MTN, the gains in MTN really started after they reported their results, which was good, especially on the top line, where data and voice grew strongly. So seeing traction on that stock. So reactions to those kind of results and other positive developments across the market, including the $3.4 billion IMF facility that was recently disbursed to Nigeria. So all of those finding positive sentiments. And bargain hunting opportunities, given that equities are at relatively cheap levels in terms of their valuations. They are relatively cheap. We are seeing bargain hunting opportunities across the market as well.
All right. Thank you so very much, Philip Anegbe, for this insight. Philip Anegbe is a research analyst with Cardinal Stone Securities. Well, before we let's go, we know that our energy side of the market was a bit positive as well yesterday. O&O moved and contributed to the sectoral performance of the segment. We know that Japol was up by 5% as well yesterday. It went from 20 kobo to 21 kobo. No movement on all other securities. NSI, which is the index of the NASD OTC, was unchanged yesterday. CSCS had some 6,000 trading. Of course, no movement. The debt side of the market was a bit mixed yesterday. Bonds was positive, but for automobiles, we saw a lot of sell down at the short end of the curve. Chimeze.
Thank you, Temple. We look forward to a profitable day again today.
Hopefully.
All right, we'll do an opening call to London as well as the debt and currency market after the break.